Hello, members. As you can see, we have a very special guest with us today, Mayor Don Scott. Just a few things on the mayor. This past Thursday, 2 days ago, Mayor Don Scott announced that he will not be running for another term as mayor. Yes, that's the way we felt too. This is a big loss for Fort McMurray and our Métis local. Whoever becomes the next mayor will have huge shoes to fill. What I should say is they'll have huge sleeves to fill. As Don's been pumping iron during the pandemic, and he now has 24-inch biceps. So just like Hulk Hogan. The mayor is a proud sponsor of the Métis Nation, and at the start of each council meeting, you can hear him say that we are on Treaty 8 and unceded Métis territory. He's the first mayor to say those words, and the mayor raised the flag on Franklin Avenue. He came to our Métis local when we bought our land, and as you can see in the backdrop, the mayor has always attended our Elders Christmas and Métis Fest celebrations. But for some reason, he never attends our golf tournament. To quote his assistant, the mayor does not golf. Now that you're retiring, I want to give you a McMurray Métis golf ball. There you go. It's got our logo on it. And, you know, maybe now that you got some more time on your hands, we can hit the links. As we all know, this is a tough time in Canada for Indigenous people as thousands of unmarked graves are being discovered at sites of former residential schools. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission report has 94 calls to action, and this council, under the leadership of Mayor Don Scott, has put its money where its mouth is on reconciliation. On September 2018, he released true facts about what happened at Moccasin Flats to the local Métis families. The research clearly put the blame squarely on the old town of Fort McMurray and one of the realty companies in town. Mayor Don Scott didn't run and hide. Instead, he and council met with our board and charted a path forward. He alone raised the idea of full cooperation, an apology, and a lasting monument and a land transfer for the Métis Cultural Centre. This past Tuesday night at council's last meetings, Mayor Don Scott led a unanimous vote in favor of $13.1 million in capital costs towards the Métis Cultural Centre. And I said this many times, and I'll say it many more. It's what we call reconciliation. On a personal note, to be totally honest and say that Don and I haven't always agreed on everything, and even had a few arguments, even once at Shell Place in front of a few hundred people. But the day that I challenged him to an arm wrestling contest, his arms were a lot smaller then. I'm not going to do it now. But being totally serious, Mayor Don Scott, I cannot think of another elected official, federal, provincial, or municipal, that has done more for the Métis local than you, sir. And in our history, we've only presented this honor twice before in our 34 years. Mayor Don Scott, it gives me great pleasure and honor to present you with an honorary lifetime membership in the McMurray Métis as a vote of thanks for what you've done for the McMurray Métis and the Métis people of Wood Buffalo.
Well, thanks very much, Bill. That was amazing. I honestly had zero idea that was intended, and I'm deeply, deeply appreciative. I always begin my speeches with this, and I'd like to do it again, but I'm very grateful to be here on Treaty 8 territory and unceded Métis territory. They told me at the very beginning that it had never been said, and I never understood why, at council meetings. I thought it's such an obvious acknowledgement, why wouldn't it be done? And I remember speaking to people about it, and they confirmed, yes, it's never been done that they could remember or that they knew of. And I thought about it deeply, and I thought one of our commitments was not only to establishing stronger relationships, but to acknowledging the past. And that's exactly how I wanted to start that council term 4 years ago, and that's exactly why we did it. And I'm grateful that that it was noticed and that people cared about that, because I cared about it. And it meant a lot to me. I want to say what a great job your board does. So I've got some notes here, but the board has been amazing. We don't often get behind. This is the biggest project, the project that we are backing and that the federal government is backing, that is going on in this region besides rural water and sewer. But if it gets a little bigger, it could actually get to that stage, but I'm not encouraging that. But this is actually it's going to be one of the crown jewels of this region with what's being built at McDonald Island. We were very grateful. We think we picked a location that's going to make a lot of sense for the region. It's going to attract a lot of visitors. It's going to, I think, hopefully make it sustainable going forward with people coming in and doing great events. And it's going to really showcase what's been done. But I got to tell you, that didn't happen by chance. It happened with a lot of effort by the board and all of the team. And I can't thank the board enough and the team for achieving that. It's probably, I don't know of any other jurisdiction in Alberta, and certainly not in Canada, that I'm familiar with that is doing anything near what's been achieved. So this is really thanks to your board and the team that is with the board that achieves that. Otherwise, I'm not sure that this would have been achieved. This is such an amazing achievement for this region, and there's no better region to have it in than right here. And thank you once again to the board for all your efforts to make sure that these things happen. I'm going to acknowledge a few people that are really good at twisting arms. They say they couldn't win an arm wrestling contest, but actually they do. They win them all. Bill Ludden, you've been amazing. I've spent a lot of hours with Bill. He's been convincing me of one thing or another, and he's always successful, as you can tell by the results. And it's very obvious. President Poitras, thank you for your commitment to our region. We are so grateful for it. And I know that Bill speaks very fondly, and always did before I had really known you very well. And now that I've gotten to know you, it's really been amazing. And to see how your leadership has really shaped the Métis people of our region, and I hope you're proud of everything you're seeing done in this region that contributes to the Métis of Alberta, and hopefully all the Métis across Canada to see what is being achieved in this jurisdiction under the leadership of our board and the team here, and you. So we are certainly deeply grateful for it. James Cardinal, I want to make sure I acknowledge you. You know, President Cardinal, well, I'm looking for I spent a lot of hours with you as well. That's the one guy I could never win an arm wrestling contest with. I don't think anybody could in this room, or any other, quite frankly, that I've ever been in. President Gallup, if there's another person that has twisted my arm over and over and over again, it's Gail Gallup. Thank you for everything that you have done and all the convincing. That it didn't really take a lot of convincing. I was sold very easy, but sometimes there's others that need to be brought along. And to get a unanimous vote on a $13.1 million grant, which was achieved within about 30 days from beginning to end, really speaks a lot to the efforts that were put behind this. So thank you all. And thank you for this great honor. It's amazing. I truly, is something that I'll never forget. There's a few things that I missed during my council term, and there's a few things that I was able to be, chosen for or acknowledged for. This is one of the most meaningful I will ever have in my life. I am deeply, deeply grateful. And that includes my time as an MLA and a minister and all that. So thank you. And keep up the good work. Keep supporting your board, please. They're an amazing board. You have an amazing team underneath the board that's achieving a lot, as you can see. And imagine what's going to happen in the next few years. You're going to be opening one of the buildings in Alberta that is going to be a showcase for the Métis people, not only of this region, I believe, but all of Canada. This is going to be the spot. This should be making a lot of headlines everywhere because it is so incredible. And that's been achieved by this team, so well done. Thank you all very much. I'm deeply grateful to all of you. And thanks again for the acknowledgement. And now that I'm a member, I guess I can start showing up at all the board meetings. Thanks very much, everybody.